You're listening to episode 898 of the Father Bills podcast. Welcome back. This week's episode is entitled, Whose Are You? Given on the 29th Sunday in Ordinary Time, 2023. Well, let's play a game. You may want to talk to your partner. If you don't have a partner, it's okay just to talk to yourself. It's all right. God's with you, right? Remember we heard about coins, right? Well, and answer out loud. Here's the first question. Whose image is on the $1 bill? George Washington. That's right. Okay. The $5 bill. Abraham Lincoln, right? The $10 bill. Hamilton, Alexander Hamilton, not a president. It's a play, right? Hamilton. Oh, okay. The $100 bill. Benjamin Franklin, not a president. The $2 bill. Now, before you answer, someone gave me a $2 bill after one of the masses. So I'm like, excellent, I can verify this. And it is Thomas Jefferson. Excellent. All right. So now now we're getting to the challenge phase, right? And if you can get this right, that's impressive because these bills are not in circulation anymore. So, for example, who's on the $500 bill? Like, is there one? There was. William McKinley. Do you get it? Excellent. Over there. Okay. Smarty pants. Let's see if we can keep going, right? The $5,000 bill. Now, if you're looking this up on the internet, you're just cheating, right? Like I did. That's why I had to look it up. That's James Madison. Oh, yeah, okay. And finally, the gold note is called, the gold note, $100,000 bill, Woodrow Wilson. Like, what did he do to deserve that, right? I think George Washington should have been the $100,000 bill, but it's not the case. And then finally, whose image is on the gold coin in Mario Brothers? What? No answer? There is none. That's right. That's right. You all knew that in the choir. Father Anthony? You knew that already? Okay, yeah. There's actually a slot in the middle, and there's a whole history behind it. We'll move on, though, right? Okay. In the gospel, we hear the Pharisees trying to challenge Jesus, and he's going to have none of it. Really, he's going to put it right back in their face. And we hear, give to Caesar what is Caesar's. Okay, actually, that makes good sense. When we look at the money, who's on the money, these are important people in our country, and this is the country's money, in a sense it has these leaders, right? That's how it represents. For example, if our government fell apart, would any of these paper notes we call money be of any value? Probably not, right? There's gold bars. If you got gold bars, this is good, right? But here's the deal. We do need to pay those taxes so that we can have fire and police and all these. There's things that sewer. There's all these things that we have that we need. That it's reasonable then to give towards just things that our government may give. Now, there are unjust things that you may not want to give to. I understand that. That's another homily for another time, right? Jesus does not end here. Of course, we go to, and give to God what is God's. What belongs to God? Now, before you answer real quick, let me give you help. How many of you have a rosary? It's God's. How many have a crucifix? It's God's. How many have a Bible? It's God's. How many have a miraculous medal? It's God's. How many have a missalette? That's Holy Trinities. Give it back. Over there, I saw you raise your hand. Big question. What belongs to God? And whose are we? Where do we fit into this whole picture? Do we belong to God? The answer is yes. In fact, we know that from the beginning, the image of God is placed on us, right? We're in the likeness and the image of God. So he stamped his image on us, and it's clear when we do that baptism thing. That liturgy is full of this imagery. So, but we in our culture say things like this: it's my body, it's my life, it's my decision, et cetera, right? It's my bank, it's my family, those are my kids. Sometimes they're like, I don't know you, Mom, Dad, I don't know. But the biology is there, right? But see, how many of you actually willed yourself into being? Right? How many of you decided that I'm going to be born in these parents? I'm going to be a male or a female. Who decided that at that birth moment, that conception moment, right? These things are given to us by God. Who's the author of all of this then? Clearly, we're God's. Now, I'm a God, but we belong to God, right? Got to get that grammar right. The gifts that you have, maybe you're incredible at some gift. Maybe you're great at math, right? Wouldn't we wish that everybody was great at math? Or maybe you have a sporting ability and you've been practicing and you've honed it. But where did that innate ability come from? From God. Ultimately, we are God's. We belong to God. Everything we have. You didn't decide to be born in a certain place or a certain time. This is your time and this is your place. There's one greatest gift that we've ever been given is salvation, that we can't earn at all. Jesus suffered on the cross, died, and rose again by destroying death and creating new life for us. How can we pay that back? In fact, when people go to the confessional, if you've been to the confessional with me, you might hear this question. So now that you've confessed your sins, let's talk about a penance. What could you do as a penance that would be commensurate to God for that which you did? And they're like, and that's the right answer, by the way. There's nothing you could possibly, or I could do, to pay back God for the things that I've done or you've done. This is the good news, by the way, that we get what we don't deserve. We get grace. So I go, well, how about this? Like when you get a gift. Have you ever been given a gift that is so amazing and so powerful that you're just kind of dumbstruck? You're like, thanks. Because that's all that can come out of our mouths. Thanks. Well, there you go. That's your penance. I want you to go in the pews and give thanks to God. Use your own heart and words, whatever that is. Go back in there. That's your penance. Like, well, what about the Hail Marys and the Our Fathers? Well, you could do that too if you want. But I think a grateful heart is the best that we can do. It's not making it even then, but that's the best we can do. So do it. That's how we can pay God back. So here's some homework. How do we put that in action? Remember that all belongs to God. We are on loan from God. And when we think about this, that everything belongs to God, my life is a gift, it reframes everything we do. Instead of being arrogant about what I want and how I want it and I'm righteous, maybe we back off and say, well, what does God say about this? What am I supposed to do in relation to what God has shared with us? What am I supposed to do in my life? God. As opposed to just what I want to do in my life, me. Ask God. Believe me, your life will be more dynamic. It'll be a greater adventure than anything you could possibly dream of if you start asking the author of your existence, the giver of total love. So here's a hard one. This is a hard homework for me too. I'm not a morning person. I get up and I try this. And I want to ask you this week, each day, to try this. So tomorrow morning, get up and just sit on the edge of your bed with your feet on the ground and just thank God that you have been given another day. Because you didn't create this day. A meteor didn't hit us between now and then. We woke up. You didn't have a heart attack or some death-dealing event during your sleep. Here you are. You're alive. It's a gift. And then I do this. I pick up my phone. I don't play Mario Brothers, but pick up my phones, and I look at my calendar, and I look at what's going to happen today. And I give thanks for that too. You know, it's really hard as some of those things involve like difficult things. Maybe you have had you got to make a difficult decision or a difficult conversation. Thank God for that. So that you can then be reoriented in your coming at that story, that situation. knowing that even that God is involved in. Bring all those things forward and thank him, and then begin your day. Remember, we belong to God, and we are worth more than any currency. Thank you again for listening to this episode of the Father Bill's podcast. Now, if you were watching the YouTube version of this, watching the video, a streamed version of the Mass, and that includes a homily, the audio cut out right about halfway through my homily itself, and I apologize for that. We're not sure exactly what happened. We did gain it back, I believe. But this is the full homily of the following Mass, which is the 11:15 Mass. Things differ a little bit, but basically it's the same. I hope that you were able to find something that was valuable to you. And, of course, if you have any questions or comments, just email me at fatherbill@fatherbill.org. Or you can go to my website, fatherbill.org, FRBILL.org. And there you can directly email me from the website and see what's going on my social media accounts, as well as my YouTube Friday Reflection and more. In the meantime, may God bless you and have a great week. Bye-bye.